Hello there, this is DBT and these are the rooms. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt 8. And today, I'm gonna be doing a multiplayer protest of the car that is not on sale. I'm talking about the Ajlani Drakuma that is on the screen right now. But I say it like that because there's some cars available right now for sale that could be kind of interesting, but this is not one of them. We'll talk about all of that. But before I get into it, if you enjoy my content, please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. As I always say, this helps and it's free. But more importantly, it lets me know that you want me to continue making videos of this game here on the channel. So, again, let me know by liking and subscribing. But alright, as I just mentioned, we are gonna be talking about this one, the Ajlani Drakuma. But first, let's have a look at the cars that are available on sale right now. Because you know that every single Friday the cars on sale refresh and you get a different set of cars. Well, the main cars that are on sale are going to be for Class D the Range Rover, then for Class B we got the Sbarro GT1, and for Class A we got the Enzo Ferrari. However, they also listed as quote-unquote sales the HCT Pletore LC750. Now it's kind of curious because this car is normally always available to purchase anyway for tokens, but you can also buy it for vouchers. And you know that this is one of the two cars that got Sportline in this last update. This one being one of them, the other one being the Ajlani Drakuma. But still, if you were thinking about yet another Sportline car, there is also a sale for the Muscle Super GT for 6,000 tokens, which to be honest, this price for a Class S car is not bad at all. Some Class A cost almost the same, so keep that in mind. But yeah, I just wanted to show you which cars are available right now, but again, the one that is not available on sale is the Drakuma. Now, if you're not familiar with this car, it's a Class S car of 1860. Here are the stats of the car with the tuning kit in case you are curious. As I always say, this doesn't tell us a whole lot of anything regarding the performance. It just tells us that the top speed plus nitro is going to be average for the rank and nothing else. Now, like I mentioned, this is one of the cars that got recently Sportline, and in fact, it's the one of all of the Sportline cars that I will actually eventually Sportline. Now, I will get to it at some point, it's just that I still don't have enough kits. I've been converting it, but you know, it takes a little bit, but don't worry, I'll make a video once I Sportline it. But actually, that got me thinking, man, maybe I should make a video before I Sportline it, and you know, see how it performs. Now, this is something that I have been asked about before, and I think it's worth addressing. Why have I not Sportline any car in the game yet? You know, the picture is like, how much? Like 4 or 5 months long, old, rather. So yeah, I definitely have the resources to do it for the most part, right? I have a bunch of the direct upgrades, have a bunch of all of that stuff, so that is not a problem. The problem first has been the Sportline kits, because I have not paid a single cent to get any of the Sportline kits. All of the kits that I've got have been through doing the Cubs, getting the kits here in Master Season, and to be fair, I also get some from being a content creator by virtue of getting the Racing Pass, so I do get some over there as well. But still, my point is that I've been doing it slowly. I've not really been into, oh, you know what, let me spend $15 to get all of the kits and then Sportline a car. I haven't done that, so there's one reason. Now, another reason is actually something that to me is even more important. I have said, and again, if you're familiar with my content, you probably know this, but I don't like driving spammy cars. I don't. And I don't like driving overpowered cars either. Now, I do drive them from time to time, either when I'm doing a test, or maybe when I need to rank up quickly, or things like that, right? But for the most part, ooh, that's gonna be a first place, baby! I mean, to be fair, I'm playing Master Season, and I'm only in the Gold League, so take all of this with a grain of salt, the results that you see over here, but hey, here's what I was racing against. Ferre, CCX Trevita, and a Muscle Super GT, and everything else was unboosted on the rank. So, the idea of turning some cars that I do like the way that they look, the Bugatti Bolide, the Pagani Huayra VC, or even the Muscle Super GT, making them a Sportline would mean that they would become an OP car. And like I just said, I don't like driving OP cars, you know, for my own oh Jesus, what the was that? You know what it was? That's some bull. Fine. But anyway, so yeah, if I Sportline one of those cars, then they kind of become OP, and I will not want to drive them. So that was the main reason why I have not wanted to do it. I understand that the Bugatti Bolide Sportline, it's probably one of the best cars in the entire game, and I could absolutely do that, no problemo. But I don't want to, because I actually do like a lot the Bugatti Bolide's look. It's currently my favorite Bugatti in the game. So no, I don't want to do that to the car. I would rather drive it in its regular ultimate form and just call it a day than to have it Sportline and feel ashamed, because it's like any W that I get with that car, I'm gonna be like, that's not all that deserved because it's too good. And any L that I get with the car is gonna be like, man, that's such a shame that I'm using one of the best cars and I still lose. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, that was a terrible race because I don't know whatever happened there, but okay, fine. And in case you are curious and you don't know about DBT and his taste on cars, all of those three cars, the Musler, the Huara BC, and the Bolide, are kind of like racing inspired. I mean, the Musler definitely is, the Bolide 100% is, and the Huara BC, well, it has a wing and all of that, so it's slightly more track focused than the regular Huara. So yeah, I do like all of those cars' look. But now that they added two new Sportline cars that I don't love in particular at all, then I was like, you know what, this is actually a good opportunity for me to Sportline one of the cars for the experience of having a spoke. Oh, no! That was completely my mistake, because I bounced on the left side and that just completely killed my line to go into the... Okay, it's fine, whatever. So yeah, now that they added these two cars over here as Sportline, I'm like, ooh, maybe it's my time to do this. And to be honest, when it comes to the Plethora and the Drakuma, I believe that the Plethora has more to offer in its non-Sportline version than the Drakuma does. Don't worry, we're going to talk about the performance of this car in a second. I'm not saying that it's a bad car, right? Don't get me wrong. But you know, it's nothing particularly interesting. So I thought, you know what, this is, I think, the better option for me. And I kind of look the way that this car, kind of like the way that this car looks. So I don't like it enough where I'm going to be like, man, I don't want to make it a spammy car. But I think it still looks cool enough, and even with the Sportline livery, it looks pretty dope, I think. But anyway. Okay, we're back to our debit loop, so it's time to lock in and get a good result. But yeah, the point is that, all things considered, I thought this was the better option simply because it's an interesting looking car. For some reason, I mean, I can understand it. Some people say that this car is super, super ugly. I don't think it's super ugly. I look, it's quite out there with the design, but not super ugly. But then after that, I learned that apparently this car is very strong as a Sportline car. So I thought, hey, you know what? I'll hit two birds with... Oh, Jesus Christ, are you kidding me? I'm telling you, man, multiplayer, it's part of your mistakes, part everybody else's. Just, you know... By the way, I noticed, look at that. Do you see how the taillight glow now shows through walls? I noticed something weird with the taillights going on also when I was in between races for this video. I noticed that my taillights seem to be floating in the air somehow. It's weird. We'll see if after this race it also shows up, but yeah, it's kind of strange. I don't know if that's a new bug or I just never noticed it. But anyway, so yeah, it seems that I will get a strong car after all with the Sportline feature in the form of the Ajlani Drakuma, which is kind of interesting, right? Because this is a car that is not very common. Someone asked me recently, like, hey, DVT, is this car gonna go up on sale? And like, I have absolutely no idea. I couldn't tell you. Because at the end of the day, it's GameLoft who decides which car goes on sale when, and we don't get any information about it. I mean, we don't even get the patch notes, so imagine that. But yeah, so I have no idea when this car will come back. It surely will at some point, because obviously the idea is for GameLoft to be monetizing this further. You know, and being like, okay, well, this car is available now. You want to buy it because you know, new feature and all of that. But yeah, anyway, so, man, of course, someone had to push me, and I'm still getting some points, but Jesus, that was ridiculous. But now it's time to do a Sparrow drift test, and let's see how this thing drifts. Because it's been a while since I've properly driven this car, but here we go. All right, it's decent. It's decent. I would say it's goodish. Not like, whoa, outstanding performance, but you know. Oh no, I selected the wrong track again. Damn it! Is what I would say if I had made a mistake, but obviously I did not make a mistake. Wait, was that a Musler Super GT? No, that's the Landshark. But anyway, doing the test in the opposite direction as well, because yes, here we go. This side always feels assisted. Cars seem to drift better over here, but yeah, I'm telling you, the drift on this car in this form, it's alright, you know? Nothing absolutely amazing, but it's not bad by any means. Alright, so I did try a couple of attempts to get different cars. This one doesn't seem to get too much in the way. I cannot cleanly out... Oh, come on. I hate it when they, for no reason, just jump right in front of you at the start of the race. They don't always do that. Oftentimes they don't. Look at that. Now he went on the opposite side. Ah, jeez. I mean, that one was good, but still, you know what I'm saying? Ah, it's annoying. Are you kidding me? Now it puts me again as an... Wait, maybe this is good. This goes so fast, gets out of the way, maybe? No, nah. Ah, god damn it. So in the previous attempt, this rematch Nevera didn't get in the way. Let's hope that it doesn't. Come on, give me a decently clean one, please. Alright, that's decent. That's decent. Alright, I'll run with that. I think that is about as clean as I'm gonna be able to do over here. And here in Gate Drift is much better because there's no opponent, so you get a perfectly clean time from the start to the wall, even if the time is counting down. But you know, you can always do 3 minutes minus this amount of seconds and milliseconds, and you find your answer. But there you go. Now, before going any further, it's time to have a look at the colors available for the car because, oh boy, it does have a bunch of colors. Now, you already saw me driving the car in this fancy teal-ish color, whatever this color is supposed to be. I quite like this one. You saw me driving it in black during the drift test and in white for the time to wall. But actually, the official color of the car is red, at least in this game. We also have it in fancy orange. We got it in silver, fancy yellow, and an even fancier purple. There's not a ton of purple in this game, so this looks pretty dope. Now, there are a couple of decals available. Now, technically one, and it's this one that you can get for 200 vouchers, you know, the premium currency and all of that. But then there is the Sportline, and man, look at that thing. It looks clean. Look, I have said a million times that I don't like cars in black. But what I will say about the Sportline cars is that they have done a good job on the livery sense of while the car is black, they add a bunch of lines to highlight some of the shapes of the car. So I think this looks pretty neat. From the Sportline cars, this is one that I like the most in terms of the looks with their respective Sportline livery. And I know what you're thinking. DBT, did you just paint the car orange? Maybe. Listen, it's one of the official colors. What am I supposed to do? And it looks great, all right? You can hate me for that. All right, let's talk about the performance of the car. The car, I would say it's overall mid-good. That is to say, it's not an amazing car. It's not amazing at anything, but it's quite alright at basically everything. It has pretty alright acceleration, kind of mid, but you know, it's not bad. Same thing for the nitro. It's mid, but slightly on the goodish side, nothing amazing. Same thing for the handling, but the handling feels kind of goodish. I would say a little bit on the better side. The drift is alright. You know, just about everything about this car is alright. So I'm not saying that this is a bad car or anything. All I'm saying is that apparently once you Sportline it, it really becomes crazy good. So I don't know. That's gonna be a wow, that was super clean. I'll take it. And okay, so ooh, look at that. I did beat a Senna GTR, Racer Champion, and some cars that were unboosted or under rank. So either way, but hey, big W right there. Actually, I got curious as to when was the last time that I covered this car in the channel. It was almost 2 years ago. It was in 2024. So yeah, it's been a while since I talked about it. But yeah, I'm telling you, it's a fun car, right? It looks interesting. I think it's a pretty, what to say? Looks a little bit over-designed, but it's not over-designed in a way that I think it's ugly. I think it's over-designed in a way that it's like, oh, okay, I see what they were doing. Yeah, it's a bit much, but I don't think it looks bad per se. And like I said, I've heard people saying that this car is absolutely horrendous. I don't quite agree with that. I think it looks decent, so yes, there's that. So I guess that is my overall when it comes to this car, right? It's just decent good in pretty much all senses. Again, nothing that you're gonna be like, whoa, you're gonna be winning every race with this thing. And now with all of the Sportlines invading a ton of classes races, especially in classic season or when people are being super competitive early on in master season and things like that, yeah, this car is not going to be able to hold a candle to any of them if everyone is driving the cars correctly. But overall, you know, at least in the old balance of the game before Sportlines in 1864 and 1865 started appearing, this car I would say was quite competitive, and it still can be, all right? Don't get me wrong. As usual, like I said earlier, oh god, why could I not do a micro drift? In general, multiplayer is a lot about randomness and luck, so keep that in mind. But hey, second place. That was... Honestly, I don't know what happened. I tried to do a micro drift with the thing and it just wouldn't, so there's that. Defeated by a Devel of all things. Alright, it feels good that these two cars defeated a Senna GTR, so yep. Now, here's a bit of a funny question for you guys. Does that mean that if I Sportline the car, no, I do a test of it, do I call it a Sportline test rather than a pro test? I mean, the whole idea of calling this pro test is because I'm testing the cars at their pro rank, not because I'm a pro player, not even close. You know, that's kind of the idea. Though, to be fair, I don't think I'd call the Ultimate Cars Ultimate Test either, because that sounds quite pretentious. To be fair, Ultimate also sounds pretentious. But honestly, I don't know. I don't think I should call this Ultimate Test or Sportline Test, because having it as pro test makes it way easier to search in my channel. You know, you type pro test and you get a crazy list of all of the protests that I've done. Oh god, no, I messed up. That was my mistake. Such a terrible mistake by me. Anyway, yeah, you get a crazy list of all of the protests that I've done for whatever is the situation with the car. I think I did call some of them tune tests, right? For the tune cars that I did. Ah, man, I don't know. Why don't you guys tell me in the comments what you think? Should I call them Sportline test? No, to be fair, I'm gonna do so few tests of a car of Sportline cars that I don't think that's gonna matter too much. I think I would rather call it pro test so that it's still searchable in the channel. You know what I mean? Man, that was gonna be a W and I had to mess it up. Damn it! And now the Senna GTR did beat me. Ah. You know what? I just realized that I don't think we've gotten a single Sportline car in this entire video. So maybe I should call this video the Sportline free test. Not as a free test of a Sportline, but you know, like when you say sugar free, this is Sportline free kind of thing, right? Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna name it. I don't know, we'll see. It might look a little bit clickbaity because it's like, oh, there's a free try of the... No, that's not what I'm saying, but anyway. So yeah, overall the car, if you're wondering, DBT, should I get this car once it comes on sale? I don't see why not. You have the opportunity to Sportline this car eventually over time, and like I said, it does seem, or at least from what I've heard, that this car, once it's a Sportline, it's quite strong, like amongst the best Sportlines in the game. So yeah, I do see this car being a pretty good opportunity for you to get a pretty alright car at 1860 and a pretty strong car at 1865 once you Sportline it. So yeah, I would say go for this car if you find it. Again, don't expect amazing performance in its natural pro form, but still, it should be able to make some damage against the competition, and it should be fun to do. And the car looks pretty dope as well, and it does look pretty dope also when it's a Sportline. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good option over, and that's gonna be a first place, baby! Now, if you made it all the way until this point of the video, congratulations, because that means your attention span is not cooked yet. So, leave me in the comments the word dragon, and you get a heart. You know, dragon, because Drakuma sounds like dragon, and okay, whatever. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one. Bye-bye!